You're tuned in to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Welcome back to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast, where we are showcasing the coolest brands and gifts while featuring movers and makers. I'm your host, Lenore, and today I'm going to introduce you to a great outdoor game that is super easy, fun for the entire family. It's called Murbles. You know, some of them are right behind me. Got some Murbles in my hands right now. So their creator, Murry, is on the line to show us how to play this fun game that requires absolutely no setup or specific playing field. So Murry, welcome to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Well, thank you. Good to see you.
Yes, it's good to see you too. Now, I want to hear all about Murbles. How do we play? I have them set up behind me. I got some of the Murbles in front of me right now. How does it work?
Well, it's basically lawn games have been around for thousands of years. But one thing that they've all got in common is they have the game balls are big. They're big. And you can see this is in my hand, and this is about 2 pounds. The one in your hand weighs a half a pound. This one's like 4 inches in diameter. That one's 3. So it's similar to other lawn games, but it's more user friendly. Older people can play it, not hurt their shoulders. Younger people with smaller hands can play it because it's because of the size. And one thing with almost all the lawn games, they have a point ball or a target ball. This is the target ball for bocce. That's the target ball for a Murble. It's the same size as your game ball. See the difference here? This is the target, and this is their game ball. So when you throw at the target ball, you'll come up and it'll kind of push it down. If you take 2 of those Murbles, they're the same diameter. So when they hit, it's like on a pool table. They'll move them around. And with mine, you can see it if it's in grass. With bocce, Polino, and the English version of lawn bowling, they play it on a court because the little ball that they use for their target, if you throw it in grass, it's hard to see. Mine, you can see.
So can I still see the green in the grass? Yeah,
well, mine, you can pick your colors. Will you still see the green? Yes. If you look at that green is a lot lighter than regular grass. But I have 3 different greens. One is real close to the grass, but they all have a shine to them. Grass is flat. It doesn't shine. So they still stand out, even the green.
So how do we play Murbles? Like what? How do we get started?
Well, it's easy to play. The rules, there's like 10 rules. They're on the back of the bag. You can go on and turn it around. You can see them real easy. But they're right on the back of the canvas bag. There you go.
There we go. Here are the rules.
Basically, when you play the game, you just stand in a line, 2, 3, 4 people. They stand side by side. One person throws the point ball out, and then the target is set. And then the next person to your right or to your left, whatever, can throw their ball. It's a different color. They throw their ball at the target ball. And you alternate turns. After you've thrown all your balls, you walk up, see who's closer. If your ball's closer than mine, you score. If mine's closer than yours, I score. And you score 1 point per ball. There's only one person can score, and you can make, with the set you have, each player has 3 balls, so you can make 1 to 3 points in each round. I've got sets that can play up to 16. There's 2-player sets, which sells real well. You know, if it's like a husband and wife or a couple of kids. And if you've got more people in your family and you wanted to have 4 people play, you can play 4 people on 1 ball. It's not too crowded. So it's basically 2 to 4 people. Yeah.
And how many points do you need to win?
You need 10 points.
Okay.
And it takes about 20 minutes. It's easy. When you score it, if there's a tie for first place, you take the tied balls out and score the remaining balls. So every round, somebody's going to score from 1 to 3 points.
So the white ball is the point ball, which is cool because you're able to actually see it. Now, What other terrains have you played this game in? I know that you can play it in grass.
Yeah.
But where else?
You play it, if you go camping, it's a great camping game because there's a lot of open areas and campgrounds. If you're playing on a rough terrain, enjoy it because you like to take the advantage of the terrain. the bushes, of the tree roots. You play it right in tree roots. You play it in bushes. The obstacles become part of the game. If you were playing lawn bowling or bocce, you wouldn't want any of that in there because it's interference. But with mine, that's part of the game, because one of the rules number 4, is once the point ball's in play, players cannot move from their relative positions, so that you play that obstacle to your advantage. If the obstacle is to your left, you play slightly to the right, and it puts that obstacle in the way of the target ball. You follow me?
Can I throw this point ball anywhere?
Yep, as long as it's forward and underhand.
I can't
No.
Can't chuck it?
Actually, well, the problem, you could do that, but you do it too much and it's going to hurt your shoulder. You'll be sore the next day.
Yep, so I felt that.
You will. So I say and on the bag it says all throws are underhand. So it makes it so you don't hurt yourself.
So Murry, you are the creator behind Murbles. What inspired you to start this game?
Well, I tell you, I had a neighbor in Watervliet, Michigan, where I grew up, and he was really good at horseshoes. And I played with him for like 2.5 years, and I never won a single game. It was tough. I mean, he'd come and he'd walk halfway across the street, turn around, and he'd look at his wife and say, "Well, Martha, I beat him again." And I would just want to go out and strangle him, but I didn't. But I remember when I was in the Navy, I was stationed over in Italy, and I noticed the old guys would play bocce ball with those big balls, and they would play it on a court, and it was they would wear suits, top hats, everything, and it was just like, wow, they really dress up to play this game. I got to watch them. And it was pretty stuffy, and there were a lot of yelling. And I remember a leaf fell out of a tree, and this little old guy walks out there and stops everybody. He says, "Stop, stop." And he didn't say stop, he said something. But they stopped, and he walked up there, and he moved the leaf, and he opened up he had a suit on, went into his vest, and he gets a little brush, and he brushed where that leaf fell on the court. And I'm looking at him like, you got to be kidding. If I played that game, I'd have flip-flops and a T-shirt on. That's where I'd play it. So mine, you can play it on the beach, backyard. Oh, with this COVID virus stuff going around, it's a perfect game for your family and the safety of your bubble in your backyard. Yeah.
And why Murbles? Where did that name come from?
Well, my name is Murry, and these are like big marbles. So I was going to call them Murray's Big Marbles. I said, wait a minute. I said, I'll just shorten that up because I couldn't get it all on the ball. I wanted to have it on the ball. So I said, okay, I'll just call it a Murble. And it looks good, and it fits, and it made a lot of sense.
Only 6 letters. Only 6 letters. You can get that on. You can't. The white is too bright, so you can't see it. But it's definitely in the grooves.
It's embossed.
Yeah.
And what you do, you actually use that when you're playing this game. You know how those golf players or pool players can hit a ball and it'll turn certain directions?
I mean, I've seen it. I can't do it.
Well, but they do it. They hit it just right, and it'll spin to the left or the right. That's how that groove in there where the name is. If you hold that in your hand and spin it with a reverse throw, you spin it in reverse. Flip your hand up like this, boom. And the ball will spin in reverse, so it goes up in the air, it comes down and hits, and it'll just bounce and stop.
What if I throw I'm green, right? So what if I throw my green Murble and it moves the point white Murble? Do I lose?
I've heard people ask this. Well, it'll move it, but that doesn't mean you lose any points. If you move it and knock it over by your balls, that's good. You can move it and knock it over by your opponent's ball. That's bad but that's part of the game. It's not over until the last ball's played. This game, it's exciting, it's entertaining, it's just a whole lot of fun to play.
So where can we get our Murbles?
You can get them from me. You can order them direct at murblegame.com, or I've got them also in Amazon. But in Amazon, the colors are pre-selected for you. Like you want a red, white, and blue, or you want a NASCAR color set. With my website, if you want pink, yellow, and light green and dark blue, you get it. If you want Notre Dame school colors or the Jets, or if you want, your favorite colors or your kids' favorite colors, you can get them in the bags. You've got an orange bag. I have red, green, blue, yellow, dark blue. I've got like 12, 13 different colors.
I love that they're very customizable. So that means every customer gets to walk away with their own personalized, essentially, set of Murbles.
Right. Oh, one thing, you asked where to play it. If you're playing, if you go to the beach and you're playing on the beach or in your backyard by a pool, and you one of the kids throws a ball in the water, they'll sink, but they come back to the top. They're buoyant. They'll actually sink about 5 feet and then come right up to the top, so you can just pick them up. So you're not going to lose them in the water.
That makes me think of golf, when you just hit the golf ball and you're like, okay, well, it's gone. It was nice knowing your golf ball.
These, I had to add an emulsifier to the plastic so they actually come to the surface. If you saw that in half, there's about 15 little bubbles in the middle. That's what brings it to the surface.
Yeah, this stuff is hard.
But they're very hard.
Yeah.
I've actually had 8 balls break out of like 80,000 units.
That's
so
good.
It's a very durable game. They'll last you for years.
I'm going to clank them. So heads up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like 2 pool balls. That's how the sound is to me. 2 pool balls going back and forth.
Can you hold, Lenore, can you hold 2 balls in one hand?
Yeah.
Now if you take another ball and hit that bottom, the top one will go flying.
Putting it down.
But I have them. I use a high density poly, so that I want that action. When somebody hits a ball, they can nudge it out of the way or move their ball up closer. It makes the game so much fun.
And that's what makes it harder and more and more intense, because you can like, if I have the 2 balls here and I'm like, bam.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yeah.
So do you think you're going to make any other games?
Well, actually, I've had a few people say, "What else can I play with this game?" And I went and remembered when I was a kid, we had a circle. We would draw a circle in the sand, and or we would dig a little hole and try and throw the balls in. So you can modify this game. You can come up with. There's several games, just like playing marbles, but you don't get down on your knees. You can play those with Murbles,
which is easy. And I do like that they are light. So if you have like 4 or 5-year-old kids playing with this,
right,
like they'll be able to pick it up and underhand it and play the game as well.
And older people, I had a tournament for a retirement home, and the lady that won she was 91 years old. She won the tournament. She beat the guys and the other ladies that were playing. She was just so excited. She got a medal, the whole thing. It was cute. The game is for the entire family. All of them can play. Kids can be just as tough to play with as your peers.
Oh, so
sure.
It's either you get really competitive kids or just extra competitive adults. So I'm not sure where it's going to land.
Yeah, and with Murbles, you don't need to train. You don't have to have special physical skills. I've had people in wheelchairs play, because they can play it. As long as they can reach the ground or somebody can hand it to them, they can play it just like anyone else.
True. So it's very versatile for everybody and anybody. So you can grab your customized set of Murbles at murblegame.com. As Murry said, you can check them out on Amazon as well. You may not be able to get all the specific colors that you want, but murblegame.com is the place to go so you can get a customized Murble set. Murry, thank you so much for showing us your creation of Murry's Marbles, aka Murbles.
Murbles, hey, go Murbles.
Well, that's a wrap on another episode of the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast. I'm your host, Lenore. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss one. More at brandambassadorselect.com, and we will see you next time.